Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a little while since I've done one of these, and honestly I've been kind of missing just having this sit down, relaxed, casual conversation with you guys. So that's what we're doing today. I am going to show you a piece that I am working on, and we're actually going to get started on that. It's really just a concept sketch right now that I transferred onto my gesso board, so I'm excited to show you guys. Now I will be honest that I've been having a lot of issues myself, and I wasn't sure if I even really wanted to talk about this with you guys, but I've been having a lot of self-doubt issues within the last, I don't know, maybe a month or so. It's just been, things have been pulling me away from art, and I haven't been able to really get into the studio and just create things for a while. So the past several days have been really nice for me to I just allowed myself to release any feeling of business and obligation and just all of those different feelings that I feel like have been holding me back. And I gave myself the permission and the freedom to just create and to be myself and to freely just make art and just paint and just do what I love to do. And that is actually what's going on behind me on that big canvas you guys can see. Yeah, I can't show you guys just yet. I know on my Instagram and my Facebook I've hinted at it a couple times, and I really even shouldn't have done that, but I just couldn't help myself. So yeah, you guys are going to be able to see the video for that hopefully in the near future. I don't know, I guess maybe the next month or so. I honestly don't know. It's kind of a personal project I'm working on, so it takes the back seat to some of the other things that I'm doing currently. So, wow, that was a long-winded intro. Okay, I'm sorry you guys. Today's video, we're going to be just sitting down and chatting. I'm going to catch up with you guys, and we are going to start a painting similar to how I had done in the past. I've done a couple other videos similar to this, and it's been a long time, so yeah, I was really feeling in the mood to do one of these again. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into the painting. Alright, I've got my camera rolling right behind me, and I'll do my best to line up the videos so it's as accurately timed as I can. Yeah, good things come with practice, right? Or, yeah, okay. So, how is everybody doing? I was really inspired earlier looking through my social media, and I really love just seeing all of the different art styles and different personalities and just the different viewpoints and takes when it comes to being a full-time artist. And I really have been enjoying, especially one of my favorite painters on Instagram is a Russian artist. She is very well known. Her name is Tanya Shatseva. You guys have probably heard of her, but she is amazing, and I can't express, like, I don't know. She just is so inspiring to me, so weird and so quirky. I just love it. So I have been very influenced by her in today's piece. So I just want to say that really quick before we get going on anything. Her Instagram handle I will link down below. But yeah, shout out to you, girl, if you're watching this, which you don't even know who I am, so probably not watching this. But anyway. So this piece that I'm working on is a 9x12, and it's a gesso board, and I don't know what is going on here. Sometimes in the first layers you can see like it gets like this and it gets kind of watery. This is especially interesting though. I wonder if it has to do with my surface being all screwy. So if you guys know I like working with acrylics, but lately I've been thinking a lot about starting up with my oil painting. I had bought the oil paints about few months ago, actually. I think it was in like December. It's currently the middle of May, and I think I bought the oil paint in like November or December or something. I was gradually getting access to those little by little, and lately I've just been feeling like I want to change. I get so bored with everything, like my art style, and I've been feeling like I really need to do something different, and oil painting might be my answer. So, just a fair warning for you guys. I'm pretty sure that's coming up in the future for me as well. So right now I am blocking in all of my first layer of paint on my canvas, which is why I tend to use wacky colors. Like, I like the hue that the red paint adds to the skin tone, so I use red a lot. And right now I'm mixing on some titanium white, and in the beginning I'm not really focused on making it look good as much as I am just about getting the composition really down and getting the surface of paint that every other layer can grab onto. A lot of artists call it blocking in colors. So that's what's happening right now. And I will say, you guys are probably, I don't know, maybe you didn't feel kind of weirded out by the initial concept sketch before I'd done anything to it, but it was pretty entertaining. Sorry, multitasking for me is not always a good mix. I was using actually it was a pretty good eraser, at least it was in its day, but it just pretty much stopped, and anytime I would try to erase a little mistake, I would smudge it and it would just turn into this big blob of just black smear on my surface. So if you noticed in the initial painting sketch on this board before I'd done anything to it, there was a lot of smudging. You can see like up in this area and like right up here, just really around the face because I was trying to correct things. You can see there was a lot of smudges, but whoops, no big deal, right? I just thought it was kind of entertaining because I would try to fix it and then it would just end up looking even worse. So, yeah. It adds such a different look once you start seeing the actual paint holding onto the canvas and not becoming so watery. Yeah, it just must have been something about that red paint, because the titanium white I'm using here is doing a little bit better, but maybe it was just that red pigment. So lately I have been, okay, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm really bad at doing this kind of thing and talking to you guys like this. Fun fact, when I started my YouTube channel and I did my first videos, I literally made a script for what I wanted to say and what I was going to talk about, and literally word for word, verbatim, like everything I was going to say. Just because I would get so nervous because I know I babble so much. But basically, all babbling aside for this second anyways, I have been doing a lot of thinking about my Patreon account for the past several days. And if you guys aren't aware or you don't know what Patreon is, it's an amazing platform for a lot of people who do creative work, to be able to offer people that are interested in that creative work a way to help support them financially. So you have, as a creator, you have a lot of control over what you want to offer your patrons. There are a lot of, let's say, painters and artists who do visual work that will offer tutorials and videos and just different like behind the scenes content kind of stuff. And it's a really great way for people to pledge to them, and to pledge like even so much as like $1 a month to supporting them in their craft. And if you're new and you don't really know me very well, I just want to say that I've only been painting as a full-time gig, or like with full-time expectations, for the last about 8 months now. I haven't even been doing this for a year yet, but I really wanted to start a Patreon because I was so scared of getting rid of my, you know, my full-time, my normal income, that I just felt like I needed to supplement, and it needed to happen right away. So I created my Patreon channel really, really early, and it was before anybody really knew I was doing art. Nobody really knew what I was doing. And let's just say, like, the Patreon channel as a whole, like, didn't do very well. I think I had, like, including my husband, I had, like, 1 or 2 people. And then that one person ended up running into some sort of issue, and, like, she wasn't able to keep up with the Patreon pledge. And she was a friend of mine and stuff, too. But basically, it was so hard to try to talk myself into doing all of this work for my platform on Patreon and not getting enough engagement. And I would do all this work, and until you pledge to somebody on Patreon, unless they choose for all their content to be public, which not many do, until you pledge to somebody, their videos and their posts and everything are actually hidden, so you can't really see what they're doing. So even if I were to have a lot of people that would go and check out my Patreon account, they wouldn't really know what I was saying or what I was doing, and wouldn't really know what was going on or much of anything. So that kind of long-winded intro about Patreon. Again, I guess I'm just really long-winded today. I had to, unfortunately, shut down my Patreon channel, actually maybe a month ago. It's only been a month, but I feel like it's been so much longer. Just because I felt like I couldn't keep up with doing all that work for like nobody to see it, and it just didn't feel very good, and it's not fun creating for me, just for myself. I like getting engagement from other people. I like to see and hear opinions, and my Patreon wasn't the most hoppin' place just yet. And I made the decision to start focusing more on creating art and creating new content for videos or what have you, than focusing on a platform where I didn't have a lot of views or engagement. Which, if you think about it, yeah, I mean, it makes total sense to do, but at the same time, it was a very sad thing for me. Just because I really loved the idea of Patreon. So, if you guys have ever been interested, I will just say, if you've ever been interested in my artwork, then I can't even tell you how much it would mean to me if you guys went on my Patreon and checked it out. You don't have to subscribe, you don't have to commit to anything. I really just love having the views and, you know, like a little art community where we can all just go and hang out and talk to each other and encourage each other, but especially if you're trying to do this full time, because there's a lot of things that are very, very hard about this lifestyle, and it's just nice to have other people that are going through the same things, know what you're talking about, that get you. And if you guys are interested and you want to join that little Patreon community, I would love to have you. I'm like, yeah. I had about a month ago, as I just said, I quit my Patreon. I stopped posting frequently on there. I left a little like note to anybody who, by some chance does go on and stop in. I left a little note that I wasn't frequently posting on there, but I would really, really like to start it again. It's only been a month, but I really want to get it going. So if you guys are watching this, and if you have any suggestions for some kind of content that you would be happy to pledge to see. So let's say I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I used to do. So in my before, it's actually still active, like my Patreon page is still there, so don't think that it's gone and I deleted it. I'm just not really frequent on there anymore. For the time being, so I could focus on things such as the painting I'm doing right now. So basically, my lowest tier, so if you really don't even like my art, which I hope you do, if you don't even like my art, let's say you're my, I don't know, some distant relative of mine, and you see that I am starting this new thing and you want to support me. Sorry, my camera. And you see that I started this new thing and you really want to support me. Let's say you do that. What would you guys be willing to spend? So what would you be willing to, I guess, maybe donate? Like, it sounds like a GoFundMe kind of, but with just the purpose of art and following your dreams and your passion. What would you guys be comfortable with, or what would you want to see? So for me, my first tier, my lowest tier, if that family member who, really wants to support me, sees that I'm doing this new platform and they see that they can pledge a monthly dollar amount and get some kind of reward, they would only need to pledge $1. That's it. $1 every single month. And to me, I don't even see that whole $1. Patreon takes a certain percentage as well for themselves because they need to make their own profit, understandable. So at less than $1 of profit from my family member who wants to support me, they would be getting access to all of those Patreon videos. So for instance, if I was doing a video very similar to this one, and I posted it on Patreon, they would be able to see it. Versus, Billy, who is my next door neighbor, could go onto my Patreon and he wouldn't have access because he's not a patron. Hope this is all making sense. I'm trying to make it as simple as I can. Yeah, without it being too, confusing or anything. So yeah, Billy wouldn't be able to see it, but my family member who wanted to support me would. And also, just side note, this color palette is really distracting me right now because, whoa, I never use this color. This is insane. I'm really liking the change, but it's gonna be a cool one. Do I just say that about all my paintings? I don't know. I feel like I'm very confused in the beginning. Right now, I don't know how to feel. But I know it's going to be good because I just have a good feeling about it. Alright, so back to our Patreon discussion. So let's say, you're my, I don't know, I'll say my brother. You're my brother, and you see that I'm doing these art videos, and you see that our other family member has pledged to support me on Patreon, and he's talked about it, and let's say you want to do it too. Just like with anything, it starts with one and then it builds up. Word of mouth is a huge thing for any small business, especially art, when you're getting started. So for that $1, that distant family member or whatever, I should really think of a name. We'll call him Jeff. I don't know. So Jeff decided that he wants to spend that $1. I'm going to be seeing every month less than that $1 because Patreon's going to take their cut, because that's how business works. And he is going to be getting, so everybody can do it differently. Your first tier could be $10, $100, who knows, but you usually want to make it more affordable. So I made that first tier $1. And with that $1, aside from getting access to all of my content and my videos and seeing my posts and stuff like that, that person is also entered in, or they get the opportunity to participate in something similar to like a draw this in your style, or like a monthly drawing contest. Oh, popular somehow. So basically the way that I chose to do it was I aimed at creating a new painting every single week for myself. And granted, this was a couple months ago. I haven't stuck with this because I just ended up getting burnt out, I guess. I don't know. Things happen and I got thrown off my schedule. But basically I was creating a painting every week. So in order to kind of kill two birds with one stone, we'll just say, I decided to use my concept sketch for whatever piece I was working on and to offer it as part of my reward tier. So for that $1, I uploaded a very rough drawing, basically the same drawing that is how this painting started off. I would upload an image of that for people to download and to be able to customize and finish however they see fit. So it's kind of like you're starting with a template and like it's a challenge to see what you can do with it and what your mind can create. So that's kind of what that first $1 tier was. It gave sorry, I'm like trying to remember where I had all these lines drawn. It gave the what was I even saying? It gave whoever pledged the opportunity to participate in it, and in that I called it like fan art and follow. So at that first $1, you get access to all of my content, and then I also will find you on your platform so that we can be friends and support each other, which I think is really awesome and important in the art community, is to build those friendships. As I said, because it's not easy doing it by yourself, and it's more fun when you have people that are doing the same thing as you, obviously, and are in the same place in life. So I decided to do that, and that I would also follow these individuals as well. So you do the fan art and follow. So every month I will choose one of the painting sketches that I had started, and I would upload it, and I would say, okay guys, here's your challenge for the month, and come, you know, like submit your work before the end of the month to be featured, and then on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram, Facebook, all of my social media platforms, I could advertise it. So I would show off all of the different people who had participated in my drawing challenge and tag them. So it's almost like publicity every month. You're paying $1 for me to give you a shout out, give you love and support, and you're getting access into my community as well. So that's kind of the way that $1 tier worked. And this I'm all pulling off of my memory too as I'm blabbing at you guys. So that's how the $1 tier worked. And then I think the next tier I had was $10. So at $10, and every tier that you go up to, you always get at least is the way I did it, you always get the previous tier's rewards. So at the $10 mark, you are getting what I just talked about. You are getting what I just talked about, and you're also getting a monthly random postcard. Excuse me, hiccup. So if you guys notice in my shop, I do sell postcards, standard 4x6 glossy front, plain white back of my art, and you can purchase them for, I think they're affordable prices for art that's been reproduced. It's not quite a print, but it's small enough to where you could put it at your desk or on your fridge or just somewhere fun, and it's a way to support me as an artist for a pretty low cost. So yeah, but basically at that $10 a month, I would send you another postcard. Every single month you can get a different one, and you also get access to the drawing challenges and, you know, get access to seeing all of the posts and everything. But also, aside from that, you also get I think it's a 10% or 5%. I think it's 5% maybe. It's a 5% lifetime discount that I give you for my shop. And I have to check because I don't think I made it so that you can use 2 coupons, so it would just be for 1. But let's say you want to buy an original painting, and that 5% is going to save you a good little chunk of change. So yeah, and that's a lifetime code that doesn't expire as long as I have my shop open, and as long as I'm creating art, you can use it in my shop. And that also applies to commissions as well. You get 5% off of your commission that you choose to do with me. So that's kind of those are my 2 lower tiers. The next tier goes up to $25, and at that $25, you are getting I think, what did I say? It was like a print? I feel like now I need to check. I have it written up on my wall over there. Yeah, so at that $25, you get the postcard, and you get the, and part of the first tier is an inspired by opportunity. So along with posting your drawing contest entry, you also just tell me, you know, like, hey, next month I think you should do this. And then if I choose to do that and I kind of recreate your idea, then I'm going to shout you out again. I'm going to tag you and thank you and show you all the love. And yeah, who doesn't love that, especially on their social media and stuff. It's a really big boost for when you're trying to get things kicked off and started. So yeah, so for that $25, you get all of that, and you get the postcard, and then you also get a surprise art gift box. So basically, let's say I have maybe this little original painting that I want to send off to you. That's something that, sorry, I was talking to a gallery earlier today and I didn't have a pen and paper, so I wrote down the information on my hand. So yeah, that's what that is. Man, I'm really bad at just keeping up with my thoughts today. I'm taking a break from the painting just to let it kind of dry for a little bit because it was getting kind of smudgy. So yeah, we're letting her dry. That's what we're doing. I'm actually going to shut my camera off so I'm not killing the battery. Okay. So at that, surprise gift box. Basically, any extra art merchandise I have on hand that I want to send to you, I will, whether it be a print, postcards, stickers, fun things. I love giving gifts, and I love packaging up presents and like surprises and mailing fun happy mail things to people. So the gift box, I feel like, will be a pretty good value. I'm pretty sure I'll be doing a lot of like 8x10 prints and just fun little extra things, maybe some extra like free shipping coupons and stuff like that. Who knows? I can get all sorts of creative with this, but that's what you get at $25, and you also get everything else that I had previously talked about. So for the 4th tier, I think, yeah, so this is when it starts getting a little bit up there in price, but let me tell you guys why. So the 4th tier is $250. So if you pledge $250 a month, now just remember that this whole every month thing can be canceled. You can cancel it you know, as soon as you sign up, and there's not going to be any issues, and I won't take any money from you. You know, like, it's one of those things that you have full control over. You are not giving me your credit card information and I am just charging you randomly every month, and you're getting surprised when you're checking out your bills and everything. Yeah, it's not like that. Patreon I pick a day for it to charge, and it just charges that much every month unless you go in and you say you want to cancel it, or yeah, stuff like that. So at that $250 a month, you get the social media follow, the fan art shout out, the inspired by opportunity, the QuinDu Creations postcard, you get the surprise art box, and then you also get a commissioned artwork. So this is where things start getting fun. So with the commissioned piece, you get, I think I have to, don't quote me on exact details, or check out my Patreon channel. I'll end up linking this in the description box. But basically, I think it was an 8x10 commission, which is a pretty good amount, I think. And it's valued not just the commission, and that's everything else as well. All of the other art rewards that you get the postcard, you get the art gift box, you get the commission. And then aside from getting that 5 and 10% off, now you're also getting 15% off. So you have that lifetime 15% discount to use in my shop and to use towards any future purchases and with me. And yeah, I just thought that was super cool. And since it's a commission and I can't sit and paint all day, every day, I wish it was that simple, honestly, but it's not. So since I don't have enough time to fulfill all of hundreds of commissions or whatever, there's only 4 of these that are open to the public. So if you choose to do, let's say, even if you only want to do it for 1 month, let's say you want a painting done by me, but you want to get a good deal, and you're saying, hey, that 8x10 might be a good deal, and it's only $250. I get all of this extra bonus stuff. I get that discount in her shop to use, you know, for rest of the time going forward. And I don't have to, I can cancel it whenever I want. Hey, so next month, let's say June, I want her to start that commission for me. I'm going to pledge to her on Patreon. She's going to paint me what I ask at that 8x10, either canvas or gesso board, and she is giving me it at that solid $250 price. So I think that is just a really good deal. And then afterwards, let's say you can just want to cancel it, so then you got, you know, that $250 art, you get the discount code, and you get all of the extra art prizes that come along with it. And there's nothing, no hassle, no strings attached. So, yeah, that's just a fun way of doing it. Yeah, I'm starting to get weird now because I'm getting really happy thinking about this. I haven't had anybody pledge that yet, but I'm really excited for it, and I'm really hoping that the opportunity comes. And I know it will come because I'm putting it out into the world. I know I've said before I'm not a big law of attraction kind of thing, but I feel like positive thinking is a really, really important aspect of everybody's lives. And if you always think the worst, you're going to get the worst. So have an optimistic attitude. So for me, I'm optimistic, and I feel like we're only getting started with this art career thing. So okay, so my last tier is the most expensive tier, and that is a $500 a month tier for tier number 5. So with this one, I'll explain why it's $500. You get the social media follow, the fan art shout out, the inspired by opportunity, access to all of my posts. Let's not forget how important that is for $500, right? You get the postcard, the surprise art box, the commissioned art piece. You still get a commissioned piece, and you also get gosh, I can't read, an original featured acrylic painting. So all of the paintings that you see on my YouTube channel, you would be getting one of those for $500. So let's say the piece that I'm working on today, it's all done, I've got it framed, and You paid $500, so you are going to get that piece, and you're also going to get all of the other art prizes that come along with it too. And let me tell you, that value is insane, just because there are some paintings that I have currently in my shop now that are like over $500 easily. They're like $600, and that is without all of the extra bonuses. So it's a good deal if you're looking at getting an original piece of art. Yeah, so if you're thinking about one of my originals and you're like, hey, that'd be a good deal, go through Patreon and we'll chat through there, and I'll let you know if the particular painting that you want is available, and is available through that Patreon price. Okay, so aside from that, you get full feature access. So there may be some random posts, like surprise things, like secret things that I keep just for people that are my most highly pledged patrons. So I treat you guys like king or queen and put the crown on your head and say, you're so important, none of these other people can see what I have to say and tell you guys. So it's just one of those, I don't know, a way to give you guys some extra bonus content for being so amazing and for pledging so much to me, and just to show you guys how much I would appreciate it. So at that, that $500 tier, you would also get a lifetime 20% off to my shop. So if you have a let's say you do it just once, you get the painting, you get all the goodies, you get the discount. In the future, let's say you see another painting that you want to buy, well, guess what? Since you pledged that $500 to me, you are getting, you have that lifetime code, 20%. So yeah, so that's pretty much my Patreon and how I chose to do it. And I didn't really mean for this whole sit down and chat with you guys to turn into something about Patreon, but it's just been so big on my heart, and it's been something I've been thinking about, and I just feel incomplete without it. Like, I really love the platform, and I really loved creating things for it. It was just so hard to convince myself that it was worth it when I felt like there were no eyes and no one was watching it. So that being said, I am doing this video partially to show you guys my new painting that we just started, which is dry, so we might add a little bit more onto this now in a second, but also to see what you guys think about Patreon in general. So if this was something that I was going to bring back and I wanted to show you guys and start doing again and being active and really putting my all into, I want to know how many of you guys would be interested. So how many of you would be interested in pledging, whether it's $1 or $500? I really am curious. So if you guys just leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think. Yeah, it would really mean a lot to me. And I know for me, if I had a friend that I'd seen was doing something similar, and even if I wasn't genuinely interested in what they were doing, I feel like $1 is something I could easily devote to. I tip more than, I tip really well when I go out to eat. So I don't know, you guys. I'm just trying to think of. It would mean so much. It's not about the money for me. It's about the engagement and the quality of life, and it's about just really my art impacting people in positive ways and being a source of motivation, inspiration, and encouragement to other people, because I feel like that's what being an artist, what being an artist is truly about. So yeah, that's kind of my, I don't know, my little mantra on that. So yeah, sorry, that's really distracting. Yeah, so now back to everything else aside from Patreon. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you would be interested in participating in it, if you think it's a good idea, if you have any suggestions on anything I could do better or change, then please let me know. I am all ears. I really am curious to hear what you guys think. Okay, so enough about Patreon. I'm going to get my camera on and rolling again. Sorry, one second. Alright, so back to the painting. Now you guys kind of know what is the deal with Patreon and what I've been up to with that. Feel like, let's see, what else is new? Oh, my gallery showing, the exhibition that I've been a part of since the end of April is, or the beginning of April actually, is still going on at the Artworks Gallery in Eagan. So that exhibition is going to be ending in the next couple of weeks. So if you guys are local and you're in Minnesota, then I think it'd be awesome if you stop by, if you get time. There's a lot of, not even just my art, I only have 2 pieces that are showing there, but there are a lot of other really talented artists too that are in the area. And I think it'd be really awesome for you guys to go and check it out. Okay. So, do you guys see what I mean when it comes, or when I talk about how my art is like really scary in the beginning? I mean, it's like, I see the potential, but at the same time, I can't get over sometimes how scary it looks. But you guys will see what I mean. Let's get it looking a little nicer, huh? So, being that my eraser was being a little punk and wasn't working the best for me, I had a lot of, well, not a lot of, but a few spots where I wanted to make some much needed changes to. Kind of just trying to get some of those corrections going now as I'm painting versus later. Obviously, because I'm painting. Okay. What else can I talk about? Because now I feel like I'm just like embarrassed that I was spilling my guts out about my Patreon. And now I feel like I don't know what to say. So that gallery exhibition will be going on until the 28th. If you guys are interested, it's in Eagan, Minnesota. I actually, earlier today, I got approached by another gallery. So this is probably, let's start talking about galleries a little bit. Let's just do that. So this is probably the 3rd or 4th gallery I've had that has approached me in regards to representation. And a lot of galleries do things differently. Some galleries, you don't pay any upfront fees right away, and they just take a % of your earnings when you sell a painting. Some galleries charge fees and then additional fees when you do sell a painting. And then some galleries don't charge anything but want you to basically pay off your debt in regards to like them displaying your work and stuff as by you working it off. So yeah, I mean, it depends on the gallery, but there are so many different ways that I've seen different ones have done it. So for me, last night, I realized that I hadn't done enough poking around on the internet when it comes to researching galleries. So last night I was on my phone, I was on Instagram, I was researching galleries that I felt like, or, well, first of all, that were local to me, because that is a real thing. Like, I would like to be featured in a gallery close to home, but obviously that's not really always possible, and I recognize that, but hey, what's the hurt in trying? So I've looked at a bunch of different galleries in my local area, and I went and found them also on social media, mainly Instagram. I feel like Instagram is my my most used platform. Wow, that looks really scary. I'm sorry, you guys. I feel like Instagram is my most used platform. So I went on my Instagram and I found those galleries and I researched them. I looked at their posts, tried to get a feel for what their following was like, and followed a bunch of them. Try to get discovered. And then this morning I found that it worked, and one of the galleries that I had chosen to follow was contacting me and wanted me to, said they're interested in my art and representing me and stuff. So obviously I was excited and I was really intrigued, and like that's every artist's like hope, is to get into a gallery, at least every new artist. So for me, I have sold pieces online. Honestly, with Instagram's algorithm changes though, it's been a lot harder, just because you need this certain amount of engagement and everything. But I have sold pieces through Instagram in the past, and through Facebook, and you know, what have you. But lately it's been a lot harder, at least to sell an original painting, and I do not feel like it's because I am, you know, a bad artist, or I am not skilled and my stuff just isn't quality enough. Like, I'm done with all of the negative doubt and like the negative talk and the self-doubt and stuff like that. I'm really just done thinking that way, because nothing good ever comes from it. But yeah, so I was really excited that I'd seen that one of the galleries that I was checking out and following and looking into the night prior sent me a message on Instagram and asked, you know, to talk to me, and I called her on the phone and we did some chit-chatting, and I'm not going to give away very much detail on it right now because I'm not sure what direction I'm going to go with it. And so this is one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about when it comes to galleries is, overall, everybody's got to make their money, right? And I've had some galleries approach me that really had insane, like, costs when it comes to their representation. So I have had a gallery who I needed to pay a fee in order to even get accepted into the gallery, and it was like a crazy amount, especially for being a beginning artist. Like, I have a hard enough time using $30 on like an application fee for a show or some sort of curatorial project or something. I have a hard enough time like spending that $30 for an application fee, let alone spending thousands of dollars on gallery representation. Yeah, it's almost, I mean, I'm not saying that is a bad gallery or a bad way to do it. It just by no means did not work out for me at the time. But it's nice to know that my work is of a quality to where the galleries are interested and they want to work with me. But I just haven't found like that perfect match just yet. So if you guys are also artists and you have thoughts on galleries, then leave them down below and let's get a conversation going, because I feel like there's so much to be said about it, and since I'm not currently represented by one, I don't think that I would do the best in talking about it. But that's kind of, I don't know, I've been really taking my time, and right now I've been focusing on building up a body of work that I feel happy with, comfortable with, and I really, like when I've said in the past before, like when I associate myself with a gallery, I want to make sure that I feel ready. I want to make sure that I'm putting my best foot forward and that they're getting the most high quality, product out of me. I want to show the world and people that have never seen me or discovered me before that I have good work and it's not just a random array of, you know, different things. I don't know. It just takes a little bit of strategy and a little bit of planning, and overall everybody, like, we've all got different needs and different desires, and we're all in different places in life. So yeah, that's kind of, it was kind of exciting though still to see and to get that engagement and that request from the gallery. So with this layer of paint that I am just adding on, it's a really, what is it called? It's by, I'm going to show you guys because this is honestly one of my favorite paints by Grumbacher. So this is Grumbacher Academy, and the color is pale pink, and this is only 3 ounces. I feel like I need to get like a huge bottle or a huge tube of this. But this is one of my favorites when it comes to blending and smoothing out skin tones. So if you guys notice that before I put this color on the face, it looks really just dry and kind of lifeless. Acrylic has that really dry look at times if you're not, especially if you're not using any mediums. And that's something that I've never really liked about it, but I've found that when I use this pale pink, is that what it's called? Yeah, this pale pink, that I just love the texture that it adds to the skin, and it glazes over really nicely, and the painting just gets like that really nice buttery consistency. So yeah, I'm mixing that with my titanium white right now and just going over different areas of her skin and giving her a little bit of gloss and adding on top of that red layer so it doesn't just look like she's some kind of red Martian. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on my painting as we're chit-chatting. It has now been 46 minutes. Oh my gosh. Has it really? Wow. Okay. I feel like I've drugged this video on long enough, and now I am getting into a point where I don't know what I'm saying and it's hard to focus. So I am going to probably continue working on this piece. You guys are going to be able to see it in my next video. Hopefully my next video. I'm not going to make any promises because I don't like making promises I don't know that I can't keep. But hopefully, hiccups. Hopefully you guys will be able to see the finished piece in my next video next Friday. So unless I'm interrupted for military or life emergencies, I aim to upload a wellness video every Sunday and a art related video every Friday. So I aim for those 2 days a week. So I'm really gonna start hammering that down and making sure that I get that stuff done, because I can't neglect YouTube anymore. It's only been a week since I posted anything, but I feel really guilty about it. Yeah, so be subscribing to my channel if you haven't done it already so that you're notified and you don't miss this painting getting uploaded. And be sure to like and go through my videos, and even if you're not watching them, just have them on replay so I get more views and more watch time. Pro tip. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, you guys mean a lot to me, and it's because of you and everybody that has approached me and all of those little things that you do for me, whether it be sharing it with a friend or purchasing a little thing from my shop, or saying, you know, you're doing an awesome job and keep it up, like words of encouragement. All those little things that you guys do, you may not think it has very much of an impact, but it really does, and it means the world to me, and I can't express how grateful I am to have you guys here and have you guys on this journey supporting me. So thank you for that. Thank you for tuning into this longer video today. It went a little longer than I had anticipated, but it was kind of fun. I was giving myself an hour max for filming time, and that's kind of where we're at about an hour. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will be catching you guys in next Friday's video. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Goodbye.